Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this exclusive for the Wrestling Daze Clips channel. I wanted to do this video as a separate video. We did talk about this during our Extreme Rules predictions, but I wanted to do it as a separate video because this really is probably what I'm being asked about the most. Not so much who is behind White Rabbit now. I think the general consensus is that it is Bray. But how is he going to be brought in? What is going to happen at Extreme Rules? So obviously we don't know the answers to that. That's the headline. But we did get a report from Fightful where they said that it was expected that the reveal was going to be at Extreme Rules, and that also they didn't know if the person behind White Rabbit was actually physically going to be there, which I thought was a very interesting statement. So just taking that and building upon it, my feelings are and my thoughts are that at Extreme Rules, I think it will be in the main event. I think Edge and Finn Balor is the match that it's going to happen around. And I think that Bray is going to go after Finn. Now, the reason why I say that is because Finn was the first victim of the Fiend, and we know how much the Full Circle is a part of Bray's gimmick, his character, his mantra, if you will. It's in his Twitter bio, and obviously that's a massive symbol for Bray Wyatt fans as well, this Full Circle. So it would make sense that if the Fiend's first victim was Finn Balor, then this returning Bray's first victim could be Finn Balor as well. And yeah, the reason why that makes sense also is because there's not many massive heels. If you think about the big heels that are out there for Bray to go after, I don't think he's going to go straight after Roman, because even if he wants to take a title off Roman, is now the right time for him to be doing that so close to Survivor Series, where I don't think there's going to be a title match? I mean, like, are we really going to do that match at Crown Jewel? Bray versus Roman for the belt? I suppose we could. But it would seem a bit rushed and a bit quick. And I don't know, like, bring him back and boom, put the title straight on him. I don't know that makes the most sense. So for me, I wouldn't have him going after Roman at this stage. Definitely in the future. Not at this stage. So if we're going to rule Roman out, who else have we got? He could go after Seth, but they've already done a feud in the past. I'm not sure that I necessarily need to see him and Seth have another feud yet. Obviously, Seth said he would be interested in working with Wyndham again, but Seth really needs wins. He's kind of coming off like a big feud loss to Cody, so it doesn't really make the most sense for him to now get into a feud with Bray, and undoubtedly he's going to lose that feud. I mean, whoever Bray goes into a feud with, Bray's winning. You don't bring Bray back to have him lose. So we need a heel because Bray's going to come back as a face. Undoubtedly he's going to be a face. So we need a heel, and we need a heel that can lose. And honestly, there's really not many people in that bracket. Now, Finn Balor and Judgement Day in particular, that makes a lot of sense because Judgement Day are a big deal. They can take some losses. The great thing about factions is that, Dominic could be pinned, Damian could be pinned. It's different people that are getting beaten each time. It's not always Finn Balor. It's not always Damian Priest. It's not always Dominic Mysterio. There's different people that can take the pin, take the loss, if you will. So that makes a lot of sense. Judgment Day are one of the biggest faction heel teams around. They've caused carnage. They've destroyed Edge. They've obviously broken up Ray and Dominic. Bray coming in now and taking on Judgment Day, I think, makes a lot of sense. And if Bray does come back with other people, those other people are going to need people to go up against. So, if we do have Bray and a Wyatt family, just makes perfect sense for them to go up against Judgment Day. There's a lot of things in the clues as well that seem to point towards Judgment Day. We've seen lots of little things for Finn Balor, for example, patricides. Some people saying that that was related to Dominic and Ray and their relationship being killed now. You know, Dominic's very much going on in a different direction. So does the patricide clue link to that? There was rumors that Riptide was going to be in a future clue. We haven't seen that yet. Might show itself this week. And that definitely makes me think of Rhea Ripley. So, yeah, there's a little few things in there that seem to point towards Judgment Day. So my feeling is that at Extreme Rules, we will get some kind of video package at the end of Edge versus Finn Balor. I think that Finn Balor could win that match. Judgment Day come down. They start beating up on Edge. Ray could come down. He starts getting beaten up. Like, someone needs to save the faces. The heels are destroying them. All of a sudden, lights go out. Something comes onto the video screen. I think it could be a collage of animated clips. The White Rabbit logo could appear. It's very obvious that this is going to be the reveal. And then just out of a shadow, maybe, we see Bray standing there, smiling and then laughing. And camera cuts back to the heels. The heels are all looking at each other. Goes back to Bray on the screen as he's laughing away. And that's it. Like, in all fairness, that's all you need for Extreme Rules. You don't need him to actually be there and actually attack someone. You just need to know that he's back. And you just need to know who is behind White Rabbit. So for me, that's what I would do. Then on Raw, we could start Funhouse episodes. I think that people would love to see the Firefly Fun House back. And I think if he is coming back, I don't think he's coming back with anything too drastically different. One of the big theories doing the rounds is that the puppets are going to be brought to life. Well, if the puppets are going to be brought to life, that would suggest we're still keeping the Funhouse. We're still keeping the puppets. So I don't think we're going to be moving away from that, or certainly I'm not seeing theories or anything to suggest that we're moving away from that. The only stuff we're really seeing are concept drawings from Kyle and, you know, things along those lines that seem to suggest that the puppets will come alive. And that was something Bray wanted to do when he was in WWE last time. So I suppose one of the questions then is, who is going to be in a new Wyatt family? I think that Braun would make sense. And maybe that's why they brought Braun back, so that he could go into a Wyatt family. I think Rowan would be cool because he's not doing anything at the moment. And he was always very loyal to the Wyatt family and loyal to Bray. And obviously, if Brody was around and available, it'd be great to have Rowan and Luke Harper. But we can't do that, sadly. So I think bring Rowan in so it's got that nice connection to the past. And he always did a good job being in the background of, like, the Wyatt family. He was always a good henchman. So I'm totally fine with that. So Braun, Rowan would be really cool. I think Dexter fits perfect. Dexter is someone that at the moment I'm struggling to see get to the main event scene on his own. I think that he's got a very quirky, very strange character, very psychotic, and that kind of fits very well with Bray's world. So he would fit great. And I think that it would really help him. It'd be great for the Wyatt family. It'd be great for Dexter. So I would put him in there. Braun, Bray, I think you need a female. You could go Alexa, but obviously there would need to be a bit of work there because she turned on him at WrestleMania 37. So I think Alexa would be cool. Or I did say, I can't remember if it was during the predictions or the watch along, Nikki A.S.H. If you are going to bring Abby the Witch to life, like, Nikki A.S.H. would be perfect. She's very pale. She's very small. She's got dark hair. Like, it ticks a lot of boxes. It certainly works better than Scarlett. And actually, I wouldn't have Scarlett in a Wyatt family, and I wouldn't have Carrion in a Wyatt family. Carrion Cross, to me, is a big star who's going to make it on his own. Like, he doesn't need the Wyatt family, and I don't think the Wyatt family need him. I think he, if anything, he could be a very interesting future opponent for Bray. But as I said, like, Scarlett and Carrion, that's never worked for me. I think that they are main event talents in their own right already. they're in a feud with Drew McIntyre, looking like they're probably going to win that match. Obviously, down in NXT, he's a former NXT champion. We know that Triple H thinks a lot of him. He's got a great entrance. He's a great promo. He looks great. Like, he just seems like he's going to be a main event star anyway. Like, he doesn't need to go into the background of a Wyatt family. So I wouldn't go in that direction. So, yeah, Braun, Dexter, Rowan, and Bray, that's enough. Like, we don't need any more than that. I think 4 guys is absolutely more than enough. And then, as I said, you could put a female in, like Alexa or Nikki, A.S.H. I think that if they are going to have to Judgment Day, this could build towards Survivor Series. And then you could get Wyatt Family against Judgment Day, which would be a lot of fun. Judgment Day at the moment is Dominic, Finn, Damian, and Rhea. So we would need someone else to join. We do need another guy to join. And, you could be looking at T-Bar, which would be a really good addition. He's a big guy, and he would be a great addition. I think AJ Styles would be interesting as well. He would make them a lot stronger. And we've seen Finn trying to recruit AJ. So I'm just wondering if that is actually going to lead somewhere. So, yeah, these are my thoughts. So this is kind of how I would bring Bray back. I think like you do Firefly Fun House episodes, that means down the road, at some point, he will physically appear in the arena. That will be a massive moment. We don't need that massive moment to be at Extreme Rules. We can save it. There's plenty of shows coming up that are going to need massive moments. So we might as well space them out a little bit. And it would be great if we could get some Firefly Funhouse episodes as well. They were always, I think without a shadow of a doubt, my favorite part of Bray's last run was the Firefly Funhouse episodes. So it'd be brilliant if we could get some of those, see the puppets again. Just have him kind of like explaining where he is mentally, and if there is any new personas, if there is a new kind of slight twist, then obviously we need to explore that and explain that before we kind of get going, because I don't think it'll be like exactly the same. I think it will have evolved, and we'll need to see how it's evolved. Most notably, the puppets coming alive, and all of that will need to be shown in Firefly Funhouse episodes. So yeah, lots to get your teeth into, lots of interesting thoughts there. This video going way longer than I was expecting, but I just wanted to get it all into one video about like what I think's going to happen, how I would book it, what it would be building towards, who would be in a Wyatt family, what their first feud would be, where that would occur. I think Survivor Series, that would be massive. Judgment Day, Wyatt family, that would be huge. That would be huge. And it would be so much fun. And then really it sets up next year for Bray to have a few more feuds. And maybe by the time we get into like SummerSlam time, or yeah, around that kind of ballpark, that's when, we can start looking at him having a title. If we want to even do that. Like, we might not want to do that. Someone like Bray doesn't need the title. He's already had titles. It's not like he's never been champion. He's been champion. So he doesn't really need to be champion. He just needs to right wrongs of the past, have really interesting feuds. I mean, look how big and popular he is. And, he's never had like multiple title reigns. And the same with Undertaker. Undertaker never had like loads of title reigns. It's not like Undertaker had 15 championship reigns, was constantly main event in WrestleMania in title matches. Like, there's certain characters that just don't need to do that, because I don't want to say they're bigger than the title, but they can stand on their own 2 feet. Undertaker's matches at WrestleMania were as big as the title matches, certainly towards the end when it was the streak. And so, some superstars just don't need the belts. So we could go that way, but we don't need to go that way. So, yeah, I certainly wouldn't rush into it. And, we can see where we are after about 12 months or so. So, yeah, first feud against Judgment Day. And then, as we said, see where it leads from that. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Something a little bit different, a little bit fantasy booking, kind of putting all the thoughts into one video. So, as I said, I hope you enjoyed it. Obviously, we're doing the Raw watch-along tonight at the time of recording this. We will be doing the Extreme Rules watch along as well this weekend coming. And I really appreciate you guys supporting the channels and for taking time to watch this. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.